got in an e-bike accident. Nothing bad, nothing major. I was going very slow. And a kid on another e-bike decided to cut a left-hand corner and came right at me. So I braked really hard, and my front brakes are stronger than my back brakes right now. So I kind of went sideways and fell. It wasn't a bad spill, but it was enough to give me a nice little raspberry on my arm. Other than that, I feel fine. These things happen. Yeah, got a little raspberry. Yeah. Other than that, I'm okay. The bike's a little scratched up, but not too bad. If you're gonna ride an e-bike in China, it's only a matter of time before you get in a wreck. This is my second one in almost 3 years. The first one, I made a video on it. That was really bad. I've seen worse. Anyways, this kid pulled out on a bicycle, pulled out in front of me without actually looking both ways across the street, and I just ran right into him. I went head over heels, hurt myself for a long time. Had bruises and cuts and scrapes all over. I still have a few scars on my foot from it. I have friends of mine who have gotten in wrecks here, and one guy broke his collarbone. So he was hit by a car. I like e-bikes. E-bikes are a really great thing, and a lot of people talk shit on them. The biggest problem is just other drivers. Oh, got a little cut there too. E-bikes are still better than motorbikes. They're not as fast, they're easier to maintain, they're cheaper, they're not polluting, they're quiet. And some people say, oh, I want a motorcycle that's loud so people can hear me. And there's something to be said about that. But for the most part, I mean, everyone says, oh, bicycles, bicycles. I think regular bicycles are more dangerous than e-bikes. The kid that was coming at me was playing with his phone, looking down and not paying attention. And that's the problem. It's not the e-bike. I mean, look here. Here's another example of a heavy-duty e-bike. That one's kind of cool. I like it. It's got lead-acid batteries in it. Definitely longer range and a little more sturdy. Okay, so you have the motorbikes over here, 125s. You have scooters with 125s, and then you have these, which, you know, have pedals on it, and those are technically legal. And then you have these scooters, and this is one like mine, but it's not legal in Zhongshan. But they're so popular, everyone has them. They're ubiquitous here. And these are not the problem. It's the people who ride them that is the problem. My father had a term growing up. He said, don't be a poor craftsman who blames his tools. So it's not the tool, it's the craftsman. People choose to ride e-bikes in China because they're cheaper. And even though they're technically illegal in this city, it's easy to get a hold of one. And they're everywhere. And the cops don't do anything. Occasionally they'll set up a roadblock and try to confiscate some, usually around Spring Festival. But other than that, there's nothing. You could run red lights in front of cops and they're just sitting there playing with their phones the whole time. So there's no enforcement of any law whatsoever. That includes with cars and regular motorbikes too. Now, in addition, because they're not regulated and their laws are not enforced, you have everyone from 10-year-olds to 70-year-olds riding these things all over town. You don't need a license, you don't need insurance, and there's no registration for the bikes. Unlike motorbikes where you need all of that. So if you look at the motorbike guys, they actually follow the rules because they have a license plate and there's cameras everywhere. If they break the rules, the cameras catch them and they get fined. That's not the case with e-bikes. So an immediate solution would require licenses. So that won't affect me, but most foreigners do not have a Chinese driver's license and they rely on e-bikes to get to and from work. So that would be bad for them, unfortunately. But it would be better for everyone overall. But again, it's not the tools that are the problem, it's the craftsmen. It's the people who ride them that need to take more responsibility, and including myself. Some cities just go with banning them completely, and I think that's the wrong idea. This is an evolution in transportation, and cities need to embrace it. But again, you still have to enforce it. So it's up to the cops to step it up a little bit, enforce these issues. A 10-year-old kid should not be riding a bike the size of a motorbike in the street, playing on his phone. And not paying attention where he's going. I have seen many of these kids get in accidents or fall over. Sometimes you have 3 or 4 people on the bike, all their buddies, and sometimes with the grandparents you have kids riding, and I've seen them get fallen and hurt. So I just walked outside my office, and this is what I am greeted with. Okay, so I got a small little e-bike, another little e-bike, another e-bike, e-bike. That over there is a motor scooter, a couple of other motor scooters over there. But then you have these share ride bicycles, right? And they're everywhere. And now you're starting to see share ride electric bikes. See here, these are the electronic share bike e-bikes that are coming out now. And you've got 8, 9, 10-year-olds riding these on the street. And regular bicycles are great, but they ride them in the street. And they ride very slowly, and then they weave like this as they pedal. So you don't know, they don't use hand signals or turn signals, and you don't know where to go to avoid hitting them. He's got his earphones in, riding in the street. And that's why I believe that regular bicycles can be more dangerous than e-bikes, because e-bikes ride in a straight line. They have turn signals, they have brake lights. Electric bikes are an evolution of motorbikes. They don't pollute, they don't smell, they don't have too much noise pollution. They're great. And I think that more cities need to embrace these things. But like all evolving technologies or evolutions in transportation, government regulation is always falling behind the trends. And I've had people tell me, Paul, it'd probably be safer if you just walk to work. Maybe. But I subscribe to the fact that there's risk in everything that you do. I mean, if I walk across the street, I could get hit by a bus. You can't live your life by what ifs. Those guys are the dangerous guys, the Meituan guys. He's just looking at his phone. Okay, so just a quick update on my injuries. I'm fine. I feel great. No issues really. This raspberry has been healing just fine. A little bit on my wrist there too. However, take a look at my leg. Now, the bruising is there, and it's natural, it's normal. It actually doesn't hurt very much. The first day it really hurt, but now it's just fine. You know, I can walk just fine. If you hit me in the hip, it hurts a lot. But you know, I can sleep on it, and you know, it's not a big deal. It looks worse than it really is. However, people ask me, how do you treat these types of things when you're in China? Well, let me show you what everyone has brought me. I have like 3 boxes of this stuff. It's called Yunnan Bio, and it looks like this, and it's 2 sprays, and they smell like shit. I did a little video, last time I got in an e-bike accident, I did a little video of this on my arm. And I've been putting this on, and at night, it's kind of a cool, crisp feeling. But it smells really bad, and I have no idea if it really works. But apparently Chinese people swear by this, because everyone's telling me to put this on, and I've had 3 people bring me this. So they're always trying to take care of you here.